So if you didn't hear the news, patch 1.7.33 came out today for Starfield, and it addressed some of the glitches in the game. And because of that, today I'm going to test every single glitch that I'm aware of or can remember about at least to see which ones still work. Because now we know at least one or two of them are, no, two of them actually, I know for sure are gone. So I'm going to see if any of the other ones are gone. So the first one that's gone, if you didn't know about, is those vendor chests that you used to use for money. Those for sure are gone. I've tested those. They're gone. I couldn't find any. I didn't check every single one, but I checked most of them. They're gone. The other one was, and I couldn't get this glitch to work, but I saw about it on YouTube, and it was if you would go to random star systems and find a ship that you could attack, board another ship, steal another ship, and then you could take that ship to a star station or space station or whatever, like the Den, for example, and you could do this thing where you'd go there, and then you would go to the vendor, and you'd change your ship back to the frontier, and then you'd leave at a certain time, and then suddenly the Den would be a ship that belongs to you, and it could screw your game, but also you could use it in order to duplicate credits and stuff like that. And I never got that one to work, but they directly said in the patch notes that that one got fixed. So I'm not even going to test that. I'm going to assume that one was fixed. But that's it for what they have in the patch notes. Now let me test everything else. So first up, this isn't really a glitch. It's sort of an exploit, but not really. It's can we still make 20,000 XP per minute with iron and aluminum in an outpost? Any of these glitches, just look through my description of my video to find them if you want to find them. But this one was adaptive frames. You make 99, and then you can do something like this. And yeah, that still works. So I figured that one would still work, but I just wanted to make 100% sure you can still make 20,000 XP per minute from crafting, or more depending what craft you set up. So the last glitch was one that I found personally. Let's do another one that I found on this channel personally, which is the animal XP farming for 15,000 XP per minute. So we put down animal husbandry facility. We have the animals. And they still give XP. Okay, that's really all I need to test. I guess the other thing is I need to test if they still respawn. So I'm going to kill them real fast and back up, and I'm going to wait and see if they respawn. Okay, I see one respawned. All right, we can still do that one. That's all I need to test to make sure that works. That glitch still works. So now it's time to bust out Old Reliable here and see if enemy ships still aim for center of mass instead of aiming for the cockpit. This is the invincible ship exploit. If you want to see about this one and any of these other glitches, just check the description of this video. They're in there somewhere. So here we are at Crix, the Den, or whatever it was. So previously, enemy ships would aim for the center of mass. And so with this design, they would not be able to hit me very well as long as I faced them correctly. And that still looks to be the case. They're still aiming for center of mass, which in this case for this ship is basically nothing. So yeah, the invincible ship design still works. If you want to use this abomination, you can definitely do it and be not totally invincible, but close to invincible. Now I'm going to test if you can still generate infinite legendaries. So this guy dropped a Corrosive Explorers, Advanced whatever. If you save right before you kill a legendary enemy, the ones with the weird like badge around their level, then you can kill them. And then if you don't want like what you see as far as loot, then you just load the game back to right before that, kill them again, and yes, they still generate loot randomly. So that exploit still exists. You can still generate infinite legendaries or whatever legendary you want anytime that you want. This one's not really an exploit, but let's test to see. Yes, Venus is still 100 hours universal time for 1 hour. So going to Venus, which is in Seoul, this is still the best place to skip time in order to make things happen in game. For the next glitch, all we need is a chair. So you're going to sit down in the chair and you're going to press the wait button and then move just slightly after pressing the button, maybe like 200 milliseconds. So if you do it, let's see if I get it first try. So wait and get up. Nope, I got up too soon. Okay, let's keep trying this. Okay, like that. I pressed wait and then got up right like the frame or two before this popped up. And now I can cancel this, and the wait button is still at the bottom. So now I can wait wherever I want, and even if I wait, it will still keep it down there, which is really nice for a vendor. So now I can go to a vendor, I could trade with them, sell things, and then wait, and then do it again and again and again. So that exploit still works. That's still going to be probably your fastest way to get money, actually. But yeah, that's a good exploit. That one still works for now, at least. So really quick, let's test another crafting exploit. This was the how to get rich selling drugs video I made. And this is another one that I found I was pretty proud of. So it's with making amps. And I mean, I don't need to see any reason it wouldn't work if the other one doesn't work. And yeah, I guess it still works. All we got to check now is the price of the amp. Is it still the same? I imagine it is. So we're going to go over to aid and then the amp. And they're still worth value of 100. I thought it was worth more than that. Maybe not, though. Okay, so yeah, that one still works. You can still get rich by making and selling performance-enhancing drugs. But I see there's still a useless glitch of the floating plants. Now let's see if we can still buy any ship part even without the skill. So I had to go back to one of my oldest saves here where I don't have starship design and I don't have piloting, which is required for certain ship upgrades, a lot of ship upgrades. So for this one, you're going to view and modify your ship. You're going to go to the ship builder, and then you're going to make sure the ship is at the center of the screen so that the item you place will be inside of the ship. Then you go to add, and you go through here and try to find one. I think cargo might have something. Yeah, starship design here in order to get down to these other ones, the caravel and stuff. So we can click this one. You see how it's red right there inside the ship? We click it now, and it lets us do this. We drag it off, and then we press S on the keyboard or down on the left thumbstick or something, and lets us go down like that. And then we can place it. So yeah, that still works. You can even see when I mouse over, it says I need Starship Design 1. Now you're going to be careful with this, because if you put on one that needs a piloting skill, then it'll upgrade, or not the piloting skill. If you put on a reactor that's B or C class, I think is what it is, or you make the ship in general B or C class, and you don't have the piloting skill for B or C class, then you won't be able to pilot it. That's the one that you got to watch out for when using this glitch. But this glitch still works. You can still put on any ship part, even if you don't have the skills. So now let's test a more recent one. This one was found out a few days ago. I haven't posted about it yet on my channel. So what you do is you make an outpost somewhere, and then you go to the display section and put down a weapons case. After you put down the weapons case, you're going to want to save your game. And then after you save your game, you're just going to want to load your game back. And let's see if it still works. So after you save and load, you should open it, and it will generate a pistol and some ammo or something like that. And it works. So you can still get this stuff like crazy. And then what you do is you put down like hundreds of weapons cases, and then you just save and load the game, and then you just delete the outpost, and it'll put all this in your inventory. And it'll give you back the polymer, I'm pretty sure, that you use for the weapons case. So that one still works. Now we're going to take a look to see if we can still glitch through walls with the axe. Now this is not really as important now that the chest glitch got fixed, but just I'm pretty sure, just so you know, that you can glitch through walls almost anywhere if you can get the spacing right. So the main thing about this is getting the distance to the wall perfectly correct, which is very hard to do. I'm kind of rusty on this now. For this particular spot, it was getting my left foot on the seam while moving forward and blocking. So to do this, you pull out a melee weapon, jump in the air and hold block, and then move in a direction, and it'll let you teleport forward, left, or right. And I'm going to see if I can get through this wall, then that means I can get through, I think, literally any wall in the game as long as the spacing's correct. And wow, I got it right then. Okay. So yeah, you can still glitch through walls. It's not really applicable to this chest anymore, but if you ever find a wall that for some reason you want to glitch through, if you get the spacing just right and do that, it should be possible to get through literally any wall in the game. But do keep in mind, it only works in third person. So make sure that if you're in first person, it doesn't work. Okay, so at this point, I think it's safe to assume that every single glitch except for the chest one and for making a starship station or whatever, one of your ships, I think those two are the only glitches they actually fix. So the ones they said are actually going to be the ones that they fix. So it's not like, I know when we used to do Elden Ring, there were times where they would just say things were fixed, and then you'd go and test, and then, you know, certain glitches would be gone. And I couldn't find any glitches that have been changed. There's one or two other glitches that I haven't tested that I never covered on this channel, but I think they still work. I saw someone else post about one already. There's respawning ships that you steal. So you go to steal a ship, and then you can go to a planet and then come back or something, get back on it or something, and all the stuff respawns or something like that. I think that one still works. So long story short is they all still work except for the two. The chest one, the vendor chests are gone. Making a starship your home is gone. But this does speak to a bigger thing. So Bethesda will be coming after the glitches probably. So people were saying in Skyrim, you know, they never fixed it in Skyrim. And I think one of the reasons for that is you have to remember when Skyrim originally released, that was back before you could really patch games. Like, yeah, you kind of could at that point, but most people who played Skyrim on an Xbox or Xbox 360, they played it offline. So you couldn't access the ability to patch it, so they didn't even bother, right? And so then when they remaster it 10 years later, they were still just like, it's, you know, it's been a thing for 10 years, why fix it now? But it looks like that's not going to be the case for Starfields, and Starfield's now been made at a point where glitches can just be fixed on the fly, and everyone has to download them. They may actually come after most of the glitches and exploits, especially the ones that are really absurd, like the vendor chest stuff and those types of things. But we'll see what the future brings. I'll try to keep you guys updated if I can keep my nose in this game at all and not get too burnt out. But that's it for today. That's patch 1.7.33. That's all the glitches that I wanted to showcase to see if they still work, and exploits and just tricks that are fun and stuff. and every single one I tested still works.